And I looked at a lot of different products actually for myself, and it was actually for my family first, and then after researching the products so much, I realized that there was no good solution out there. After all the products that I researched personally, I didn't buy anything because I basically didn't trust it enough to put it in my house and give it to my family. You can tell us a little bit about Purity Bay and kind of how you got here and why you had to actually develop your own system versus, you know, just selling something someone already made.
Got it. Well, hello. Thank you for having me. Basically, we wanted to design a system that was not out there. Like you said, you researched everything. Everything's just the same. It's either a softener or a conditioner. A softener just has resin. Softeners were invented about, I don't know, 80, 90 years ago. And it's basically just like buying a computer from 1985. You know, you load up a couple of apps on it, it's gonna slow down.
The floppy disk?
Right. So it's not designed to handle this type of water. And for those
Because
of
the
you,
water's gotten worse?
the water's definitely gotten worse. It's definitely the same water being recycled, right? So it's
Another
not,
thing I think is interesting, not to cut you off, but they sell a softener here, right, at Home Depot.
right.
And then you go to Colorado and they sell the same softener at Home Depot.
That's right.
And here is like night and day versus Colorado. Colorado, the softener will probably work, but here, I don't think it would stand up.
Yeah, I mean, people are trying to fix the water solution with a one-size-fits-all, and the water is not the same. It's different in here, Colorado, Texas, California.
So do you make your systems different per area?
Absolutely, we do. Because, like I said, the water is different everywhere.
Yeah.
So every system is going to be unique. Based on the water report on the county, it can switch from, for example, we're here in Pinellas, it can switch from Pinellas to Pasco to Hillsboro. There's different things, so there's different systems on there. So you absolutely must get your water tested first, and then we go back and we actually design, we have the formula to design the system to handle all the contaminants, not just crushed rock, what a softener does. There's a lot of things. I know the main complaint is spots and hair and all that kind of stuff, and that's nice, but there's a lot of other stuff that may or may not be in the water, and the city is very overt to tell you. Legally they have to tell you. But most people don't look at the water. It's just, it's more of the care aspect, because nobody really cares. They just want to, we call them ABC companies. They're all over the place. There's about 50 mom and pops or plumbing companies. They're all selling softeners. It's outdated technology. And, you know, one of the things that they don't know is not only are they not handling everything, softener it's creating more problems. Salt leaks back into the water. There's high blood pressure. It kills grass, kills plants, feels slimy. You have more spots because of the salt.
Softener is just resin.
Softener is just resin,
thing.
which is a man-made. Actually, the resin comes from a tree sap, right?
Okay.
That's the natural resin. So this is synthetic resin, which is man-made. Physically takes out the calcium and magnesium that causes the spots, ruins the faucets, the fixtures, and all that.
Okay. Now, what's a conditioner?
Conditioner is it's a two-stage, which they'll put regular carbon. There's different types of carbons. Usually they pick the cheapest one.
Yeah.
And they put it on top of the resin to protect the resin, because resin gets destroyed by chlorine.
Oh. So the carbon takes the chlorine out, which then stops destroying the resin.
Right.
So you have resin, and then you got carbon. You got those two stages.
That's a conditioner. A lot of companies, they do two tanks, one carbon, one resin.
Okay.
The problem with just having carbon is just like any kind of filter, like a fridge filter or pitcher type, they grow bacteria. The carbon is a feeding ground for bacteria, so you constantly have to be changing out filters.
The one tube coming from the city with the bad water is clean, and then the second tube, you take your finger and it's just totally green. It's just slimy algae,
Which is coming after the conditioner.
After the system.
Right.
So the system is the thing producing the bacteria.
Right.
Wow. So you guys have done something that nobody else that I've seen has to actually prevent that, and that's based off of even NASA technology on how to prevent bacteria, right?
Right. When NASA figured that they didn't want to be changing filters out in space, so they discovered that anytime you have carbon, you should coat it with silver.
Oh.
Silver will inhibit any type of bacteria growth.
Wow.
Now, it's not straight up silver, because silver can be toxic.
Sure.
So it's based on a silver impregnated carbon.
Okay.
So it takes care of the bacteria problem. And then we have several other stages of different unique blends that we came up with.
One of the things Pinellas County just announced actually and got passed, and I've heard a lot of people kind of freaking out about, is fluoride. Now, how do we successfully address the fluoride? Can we take it out of a whole house?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. First of all, fluoride's a controversial subject, but basically it's a neurotoxin.
Oh, wow.
The Nazis used it in their concentration camps. The reason they're
Sounds
putting
like
in
good stuff.
the backstory of fluoride is it's a byproduct of uranium, and they had so much of it after the war that they
Like, I don't know what to do.
put it in the water.
Let's put it in the water.
No, well, what happened is they did like research studies, and you guys can look this up. But they got all these dentists and doctors, and I believe it was 3 of them that they came up with. They're like, oh, well, it's actually beneficial for the teeth, right? So those 3 actually formed the ADA, American Dental Association.
Oh, wow.
So it may be good for the teeth,
Yeah.
but when was the last time you drank water and not swallowed?
Yeah, switch
Right.
it out.
So if you do want fluoride, there's plenty of fluoride in toothpaste and mouthwash and all that. If you do want it, it should